Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and please do remember, if you do not like what I say, how I say it, or why I'm saying it, then please do feel free to click off of this video and go about the rest of your day in peace. And with that said, let's go ahead and talk about what today's video is going to be all about. Much like with last month, for Mother's Day, I did a pick a card reading for looking at, what your divine feminine might be at that time and what messages they had for you. And so for this one, we're going to be doing something very similar, except we're going to be talking about the divine masculine, which of course this video is open to anybody. You don't have to be a male to watch this video. You could be male or female or whatever it may be that you identify with. The point is that we all have both energies within ourselves. We have both the masculine and the feminine, and so it's important to recognize both and connect with both, because they each teach us different things, and all of nature has that same balance. So it's important to recognize that balance within ourselves. So yes, we have 3 different piles here, and of course all the cards I'm using will be listed down in the description, as well as the timestamps. So the group number 1 that we have here is the one with all these yellow stones, and then group 2 has these sort of fiery, earthy kind of stones, and finally group 3 has all the green stones. So go ahead and take a breath, connect with your higher self, your angels, your guides, whatever it may be, and really choose the pile that is calling and that you are personally connecting with. So yes, let's go ahead and jump into this. For those of you who picked the pile 1 with all of these yellow stones, we're going to go ahead, take a look at your cards. But before that, I will also going to be pulling some charms for you guys. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so we got some charms, which we'll look at in a little bit. And so let's go ahead and look at your cards first. So for your divine masculine, we pulled Apollo Inquiry. And sort of clarify his message to you, we also have the 8 of Earth. So let's go ahead and just start by talking about these two. So of course, with this card Inquiry, with this divine masculine and his messages to you, we're talking about looking for the truth in the current situation that you may be in. Uncover and connect with who you truly are and what it is that you really want for yourself. Use your inner wisdom. When you ask questions out into the universe, there will be an answer coming to you, however that may come. As well as, of course, he is the god of healing and music. So we're talking about, you might have personally a connection to either one of those that might be of significance to you. We're talking about very powerful sun energy here. Also connection to oracles, as well as like prophetic sort of vision, messages, anything of the like in that way. You have the final say in what it is that you want for yourself. So much like when it comes to reading oracle cards or tarot cards, it's just sort of a view of the energies that you're putting out in the universe and the possible outcome that could give. In the end, you have the final say of how you want that journey to go, and just to trust your own judgment. That is what he is here to tell you. As well as with the 8 of Earth, this is a really great card to have, I think, in both, for both of this. This is talking about growth, manifestation, accomplishment, success, abundance, wealth, appreciation. Do what you love and, love what you do. So that's definitely going back to what he was saying, this sort of idea of really embracing sort of your authentic self, trusting in your own judgment, and really make sure that it's coming from a place where you really love what it is and who you are. Planning for the future. Money does not buy happiness. Trust in what is happening and what is going on. Again, it's all that same message of your best abundance will come when you are really embracing who you are and what it is that you want to do, and be inquisitive about what it is you are looking at. Have that sort of creative and gaining that sort of inspiration. Be like journeying out there and seeing what is about. So going into sort of the energies that you may have been having around you, how that might be affecting you, highlighting. He's here to highlight sort of these energies. So we have card 5, attachment. We also have the goddess of the moon, and then we have deceit reversed, which is card 25, and this is card 52. So this is pretty crazy just looking over this, because we have the goddess of the moon, and that is in fact, of course, the sister to Apollo. And so you have already not only do you have sort of his energy here, you also have hers as well. So that whole balance and a lot of that sky energy going on. So talking first with attachment, especially like both of these are kind of highlighting, I feel like, your past situation and sort of a situation that you've been dealing with. So with attachment, this is, you need to, make the choice to let go. That perceived need of something, your growth is being really stopped because of attachments to old patterns or people, these old attachments. It's time for you now to release them and, stop living in sort of this sense of fear, whether that's a fear of the future or a fear of something specific, a fear of a person maybe. It's time for you to break those chains to whatever is holding you back from the past. And it's all about, to help you sort of in that process, you really need to go back to your own authenticity as well as embracing courage, which I definitely feel like is very much the energy that we have going on here. So the situation that you may have been dealing with is one of sort of still holding onto things from the past or relationships from the past that are just no longer working, and they're really hindering your growth moving forward. So when we talk about the goddess of the moon, this is a really awesome card, and already it's pretty impressive that you have this card appearing as well as, Apollo, because Apollo was very much involved with anything that had to do with like oracles, prophecies. And so with the goddess of the moon, she has a lot to say about intuition, going within, light of inspiration. You have a lot of intuitive powers. Your psychic abilities might be heightening or you're becoming more aware of them at this time or coming up soon. So you really need to listen to your gut, no matter how, big or small it may seem. If it's something just like, the example that this card gives is like you're driving home from work and you decide to go on, some weird side street because you just feel like doing it. And it turns out that by doing that, following your gut to do that thing, you actually avoided like 3-hour traffic, things like that. Whether it's big or a small major thing, just trust your gut and instinct, because it's not going to lead you astray. It's important for you to follow that. And, be open, open up to the possibilities of this connection, this sort of guidance from higher up, as well as like a kind of divine inspiration coming to you. Like it could be in the form of dreams, when you're doing something kind of like random, like washing dishes, and suddenly you have like a spark of an idea. Definitely don't ignore that, because it's some sort of message coming through to you from, your higher self, your intuitive self coming through. Now with the next card over here with deceit reverse, I definitely felt like this is related to the attachment card that we have here. But since it isn't, it's reversed form, this is really talking about, normally this card is about hidden tactics, manipulation, and with it reversed, this is talking about the end, or deceit from the past is now over, or it is ending, as well as any form of self-deceit that you might be doing to yourself. So again, becoming more self-aware, of who your authentic self is in order to bring about the abundance you want to. And so what is so important, I think, at this time is to be extremely honest with yourself. Again, what it is you want, why it is you want it, and do what it is that you love. Now, moving on to sort of additional possible spirit guides, divine masculine guides, and just messages in general. We have Father Sky, trust in the unknown. We also have Seer, see beyond the current situation, as well as snake, shed old skin. So again, this is pretty wild that you have such, like, I've probably already said it, like a lot of sky energy, a very strong connection to the sky and sort of the cycles in the sky, both the moon and the sun. Because Father Sky, of course, when I see this, it immediately makes me think of Zeus, which of course is the father of Apollo. So, and that it kind of goes into what this card is about. It's a reminder that the path unfolding currently for you is exactly as it needs to be. So the path is what it is, kind of sense. Even though you don't quite understand it, or maybe there's parts of it you don't understand, it is the right path for you. And so you just have to trust that the universe sort of has your back. This is also, a huge sign, if we're talking about divine masculine, a huge connection, a very strong, powerful connection to a divine masculine, or even a father figure in your life. It could be your actual father, or just a man that, represents something like that to you. It's a reminder that you are the co-creator of your life. You really don't need to know all the details. So this is definitely for some of you who picked this pile. Maybe you're a little bit like you want to control all the details. You want to know the every single step in the process. But this is kind of a reminder to like sit back, relax, and kind of trust more in what it is you feel in the moment. And so, this is also about seeing from a higher perspective. I think you definitely, guys, you're getting much more clarity, and you're going to be seeing in a much different way now. Part of that has to do with sort of getting in touch with your intuitive powers. And, this card also kind of talks about, for maybe some of you who picked this pile, a need to sort of heal a connection with a father or a father figure in your life currently. Or, this could also just be a reminder that if maybe a father figure in your life has already passed on, that they're still with you, they're coming down and connecting with you at this time and guiding you. So definitely trust in any sort of feelings like that, however that may apply to you. Just keep that in mind, and make sure that if you do have any sort of tense relationships with your father figure, you kind of, especially in the aspect of attachments here, especially if it's an old attachment and maybe, that relationship is very strained, maybe this is, in order for you to move forward and grow, you have to kind of revisit that connection and sort of heal it by properly ending it. Ending kind of that deceit, being honest with yourself about what maybe that situation is. And moving on to the next card, we have Seer, which again, you have the goddess of the moon, you have Apollo. It's like totally way connected. So the Seer, of course, is talking about, looking beyond the current situation. Again, I think that message already came up for you guys. Raising your vibration, focus on love. So in order to sort of raise your vibration, it's important for you to focus on sort of the, coming from a place of love, opening up your heart, being very honest with your heart, healing that kind of heart chakra energy, and of course this brings up clairvoyance. So you guys may have, it's pretty obvious that you guys do have a strong sort of psychic ability, and it is possibly one of the clairs, whether that's clairvoyance, clairsentience, claircognizance, and clairaudience. There's a couple other rarer kind of clairs out there. Definitely, if you're curious about that and you want to see maybe you have one of those, take to Google, because it's like lots of pages, lots of YouTube videos even about it. And so the final card that we have here before we jump into looking at your charms is, of course, snake. So the symbol of the snake might be of significance to you. And its message is all about, casting off the old, similar to, I think, what we had going on here with these two cards. Renewal, renewal, revival, revealing all of your true self and your true talents and gifts. So I definitely feel like that could be connected. Maybe you have in the past been aware that you have these abilities, but maybe because of some, situations with people in the past, you felt very, kind of closed off, like you couldn't share that part of yourself. Now is the time for you to, do away with those old beliefs, because those are not meant for you. You are meant to show these gifts to the world, for yourself, for everybody else. It will benefit other people as well as yourself. So You know, move beyond your limitations. That was also a concept that's coming up with a lot of these other piles as well. You know, clear out any misunderstandings. I feel like that was sort of a message coming through with this card. You know, that could also be related to your throat chakra. You know, and really just celebrate you, like the new person that you are coming into. You're going to put in the work to shed off these old, you know, the idea of the deceit card, the attachments, coming into this fresh new time for yourself. Again, shedding that old skin. And you really should celebrate when that happens. You know, embrace that new change, because it's super awesome for you guys to be doing that now. And so embrace that time. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a peek at what is going on here for your charms. Let's see if I can get this kind of close up, if I can get my camera to focus so you guys can see if there's anything there of a significance to you. But I, of course, will say what I think I'm seeing here with the charms. So, additional little messages. We have an admirer is concealing their affections for you. That kind of could be related to that, you know, that deceit card. And so, but maybe not in such like a scary way. But maybe that means that maybe somebody who has been having feelings for you, because I definitely do see a little bit of some like love charms related in here, is finally going to be kind of revealing their feelings for you. And so that connection, you know, that kind of hidden aspect is going to become apparent. And the other message we have, you will soon meet the person you admire. Wow. So yeah, even though the cards didn't really talk too much about love or anything, I definitely feel like the charms kind of hint to something like that, some sort of connection. Because especially as far as like zodiac signs we have here, we have Libra, which says charming, and then we also have Capricorn, which says ambitions. So you may be one of those signs, or just could be like that quality about yourself is something that's highlighted right now. I also found it interesting that the Libra card was right near this key with the hearts. So I definitely feel like maybe whatever a possible love connection that could be coming through maybe is with a Libra, or maybe you're just drawing more love towards you, kind of unlocking that stuff, healing your heart, and so that you can welcome that more so in. You know, we have dice here, so maybe taking more of a chance, you know. I feel like this is related to sort of showing your true self more out in the world. You know, you're going to get, your mind is going to clear, you're going to have better focus. I also feel like you're going to be healing your root chakra a bit here. Again, that's kind of going back to what I was feeling with this father figure situation, you know, that past connection. You know, obviously we have a coin here, which is related to this card with the abundance, the wealth coming through. We also have a couple different flowers and butterfly symbols here. So transformation, fertility, and of course, how could I not mention, we have the little palm here. So that immediately tells me like, yeah, your psychic guy, your third eye is definitely going to be very much highlighted at this time. And so it's going to become very obvious. We also have a love. So yes, again, that could just be, you know, maybe not so much a love connection, but just maybe finally kind of healing your heart chakra and then coming and seeing from that new perspective of love. We also have, you know, some different star elements here. So that I take that as inspiration, messages from, you know, higher self or your guardians, you know, really embracing your uniqueness at this time. We also have a little Eiffel Tower. So that could be maybe, you know, travel, you know, again, maybe seeing from that higher perspective, a new perspective. So yes, you know, yeah, we have the I Heart Mom charm. I'm not sure how that is connecting yet, but that might be significant to somebody watching that. I think, you know, changing your, yeah, like aligning your outward self more with your inner self as well. Coming to a new emotional like strength. We also have a little owl, so this is, you know, more clarity of your wisdom. That's also connected to definitely the moon card here, so that I'm thinking about inspiration, kind of high priestess energy coming on here. So yes, that's what I see in your charms. Again, of course, if you saw something in the charms that more resonates to you and makes sense, then obviously go with that. But yes, that is what I see for you guys for pile 1. I hope this reading resonated for you, and of course have a happy Father's Day if you happen to be a father watching this video. And yes, Of course, you know, leave a like on this video, comment if you would like to, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Hello everyone. And so for you guys who picked group 2 with these very like earthy, fiery, very root chakra related stones, this will be your reading. And of course, before I get into showing the cards, I do want to pull a couple charms for you guys. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, and we'll go ahead and we'll look at those in a little bit. So let's go ahead and check out who your divine masculine, what their messages are for you. So we have Set, Chaos. We also have Aries with War. So definitely a lot of, I definitely got a very, again, that root chakra sense, very fiery, a lot of passion going on here. And sort of to clarify the situation, we also have, again, fire, very fiery energy. We have the 3 of fire. So yes. Let's go ahead and talk about these cards a little bit first. So let's go ahead and start with Set here with Chaos. So when this card appears, it's really a reminder that to let you know that chaos is a part of the process of change. You know, this is the energy of this very much reminded me of like the Tower card in the Tarot, if you're familiar with that. And so, you know, sometimes things need to fall apart in order to reform and better align with, you know, what your intentions are and what your true desires are. And so you really need to hold those intentions in mind at this time, as sort of like, obviously your current situation has been kind of chaotic, obviously. And so this is a reminder that, you know, you can definitely power through this. You just have to recognize that, you know, it's a part of the process that you're going through currently. You know, very much that Tower moment kind of sense is what I felt like. And then when we have Aries with War, you know, there may be some sort of battle that you have to face currently, or there has been. And so it's important for you to learn the rules of what that battle and that engagement is. I also feel like, you know, the message with Aries is definitely there's many different ways of dealing with the situation. Maybe, you know, jumping towards, you know, going in full out war is not always the right way to start with dealing with the situation. I felt like for some of you, it's definitely this issue of maybe watching a little bit about how your aggression is going. Because I think you're definitely a very fiery bunch here. And so you're very passionate, you're very driven in that sense. And so it's just important for you to, you know, make sure you have a proper reins on like what your emotions are doing at this time. Because obviously there's definitely something going on here that is pretty crazy. And so you just have to remember that you have, you know, your strength, your courage, and that you can control the situation as long as you're very aware of what's happening. And so with the 3 of fire, this is, you know, action, exploration, expression, energy, hard work, sacrifice, imitation, you know, practice and refine. You definitely, you're in this time right now where you definitely need to, you know, go out there and explore some other options and really just go for, you know, practicing whatever craft it is you want to do. Because of course this is very much similar to like the Wands energy. So we're talking about passion, creativity, your work. And so, you know, avoid copying in those situations. If you really admire somebody and their work, don't copy, but, you know, you can be definitely inspired by that and use it to fuel your own, you know, your own ideas and what it is you really want to do. Be very authentic in that sense. You know, trust in where it is you're going. Go after some sort of creative venture. This is definitely what this is talking about right here. And so whatever it is that you've been thinking about, whatever situation with maybe work that's happening here, maybe there's been some sort of imbalance, and that imbalance is there for a purpose. It's there to show you that, you know, maybe that's an old cycle and now it's time to move on and join, you know, begin something anew, travel, embracing a new adventure, explore that adventure. So moving on into the next few cards, We also have some energy, you know, a card to represent maybe the energy you've been dealing with and where it's now going. And for that, we have indecision reverse. So with this card reverse, this is really talking about a newfound freedom from indecision. So maybe this situation, that why these specific, you know, masculines are coming up to you right now, is a reminder that the indecision that you may have been feeling is now ending, and you can be free from that. You know, you are about to make a very important decision, you know, a change of consciousness, a new direction. You are headed in a new direction, and it's going to be, you know, moving away from this chaos that you've been dealing with. And so, you know, make very clear intentions about what it is you want to do, where it is you want to go. Even if you don't have all the details right now, that's perfectly fine, as long as you have at least your end, maybe like an end goal in mind, at least one of the end goals. And so, yeah, I think the kind of crazy chaos you may have been feeling is coming to a close, as long as you sort of keep your focus in mind. And then the next card that we have is Winter. Take care of your needs. So with this card, you know, this is about moving beyond fears and limitations. There's a very similar message in the first pile to this as well. You know, wolf medicine might be an interesting thing for you to look up. Maybe the wolf is a significant, you know, ally for you, a spirit guide of sorts. So definitely listen to what that message is for you. You know, unearthing parts of yourself that may have been forgotten. So that could be, you know, related to maybe this creative venture that maybe you're thinking about, something related to that. And, you know, it's time for you to become the alpha. You know, wolves in the winter, you know, this card talks about the idea of like the lone wolf. You can be the lone wolf, but you have to be the alpha though in that situation, in any situation, whether you're in a pack situation or you're on your own, you still have to be the alpha in sort of the, you know, the warrior for your cause. You have to be the one to put in the effort and push forward with whatever it is that you're trying to do. And so, you know, the winter might be an important time for you as well, coming up here in the future. And then the final card we have here is Star Ancestor. Follow the voice of your soul. And this was pretty crazy when I saw this come up, because this definitely told me that you guys are probably starseeds and you have a very strong connection to Egypt. Maybe you had a past life in Egypt, specifically Upper Egypt, because that was an area that, you know, worshiped Set a lot, supported that, you know, that was their god. And so, you know, as far as starseeds go, this could mean that you have connection to sort of the Palladian energy or the Syrian energy. And that kind of makes sense. Like, you are meant to be a light worker. And so I've noticed with a lot of people who have sort of that, you know, that starseed kind of thing happening, they tend to, and especially in the early years, to sort of have to deal with a lot of this kind of idea of chaos and war and fight through that, because it teaches them important lessons that they can then apply to helping other people in the world. So this card specifically talks about, you know, listen to the messages from your soul, because it's what your soul is telling you to do right now is the path that you're meant to be on. So definitely don't ignore whatever voice inward is coming out. And so, you know, this is a reminder that you have a lot of otherworldly support. You know, really finding your deeper purpose now. You have a deeper purpose in this world. And so, you know, the idea of being a light worker, you have to, you know, follow the road that you are most drawn to. Whatever it is that lights you up inside is what you're meant to be doing. Even though if it doesn't make any sense to other people, you'd still have to go for it, because that is the right path for you. And so I feel like you're now coming into this time where you're realizing this. You're conquering your own personal chaos and the war that you may be going internally or maybe outwardly. And so you're realizing this now, and you're kind of taking better control over your destiny and where it is you're going. Like, you have a lot of potential to help a lot of people, I think. So yes, let's go ahead and take a peek at your charms here. So hopefully get this to focus. So in fact, so we have zodiac sign wise, we have Capricorn, which means ambitious. And we also have Leo, so, which is generous. So yeah, you guys could definitely be, you know, a Leo or a Capricorn. I definitely felt a lot of that fire energy going on here. Or it just means that, you know, you guys are obviously very ambitious and you have a generous soul in you, and so you really need to embrace that. I'm looking at, we have some extra messages. You will soon meet the person you admire. We also have, we have 3. You know, sell your ideas that are totally acceptable. So yes, you're definitely a really strong thinker. You are kind of inventive with your thoughts. Oh, we have another zodiac one. Haha, I was hiding. So this is Taurus, you know, trustworthy. So you're definitely trustworthy as well. And so, you know, our final little message, extra message here is, you know, innocence and time once lost can never be regained. So yes, you know, that's just, I think, a reminder. It goes back to maybe your past where things have been chaotic and maybe you've beat yourself up a lot over that, been very stressed out about choices you've made in the past. You need to remember that those choices and those things that happened in the past were meant to happen to bring you to this point where you now are realizing your true purpose. And so don't, you know, be angry or upset about things in the past or dwell on those things, because they happened for a reason. And as long as you sort of learn the lesson you were meant to from that, you can move forward into a very bright horizon. We also have a couple coins, so there could be some, you know, decent financial like situations coming up for you soon. We also have the bottle with turquoise, so I take that as like you're getting some much clearer communication coming from, and also maybe it's communication from those otherworldly helpers that you're now having. You know, an emphasis on your heart chakra, getting clear, as well as your root chakra, again, heart chakra, root chakra, you know, healing those areas. We also have the fish, so maybe some sort of prosperity coming your way. Got, again, a lot of stars here, so that is related to maybe that star seed energy that you guys have, or just some new bright ideas coming for your way, messages from the stars. We also have this whole heart key coming up, so again, maybe unlocking the potential in your heart, that loving energy. We have another key, so again, you're definitely unlocking something within yourself, a clearer purpose, obviously. We also have the little island, you know, this could be maybe travel, vacation, or just needing to take some time away from like the rest of the world to really, you know, focus on this development you're going through right now. Flowers, so like fertility, and of course we have the butterfly as well, so transformation. You know, the frog, you know, I take that, you know, kind of going inward into the, you know, that balance between the water, being very sensitive to your environment. You know, maybe that idea of the empath, that could be coming up as well with that, because that's a very starseed kind of thing. They are very empathetic to other people. They can feel other emotions or just feel the energy of the environment around them. So you may have also some of those traits as well. So yes, I think that's all I see in your charms and your cards. I hope that was helpful or enlightening for you guys. If you like this video, please do leave a like on the video, leave a comment if you like, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful Father's Day. All right, for those of you who picked the third and final group with all of these green stones, we're gonna go ahead and dive into your message, but first I will also pull, a couple charms for you guys. Let's do that real quick. Okay, we'll go ahead and look at those in a little bit, but let's check out your cards first. So for your Divine Masculine that came through today, we have the Jade Emperor, which is organization, and sort of clarify his message or add to that message. We also have integrity. So let's go ahead and talk about these two cards first. So with the Jade Emperor, you know, he is all about obviously organization, you know, streamlining, reordering, and decluttering to make way for a clearer flow, a natural, kind of effortless kind of action. So this is all about really cleaning up your space, both mentally and physically, in order to sort of, you know, streamline your action and really, fix any sort of blocks in that area. If you feel like you've been struggling with your work lately, this might be the time for you to sort of take a moment to declutter and maybe rearrange your house, switch up the energy that's going on around you, because this is all about planning. So make sure to take plans, really make sure you have a proper schedule for your day-to-day, because maybe you've been struggling to sort of fit everything into the day. If you're working right now, you have to ask yourself, you're going to work, you're doing your work, but are you able to take care of all the other things that you need to do in your life? And if not, then it goes back to that question of needing to maybe streamline things, change up your schedule, stick to a very more easy to manage schedule for yourself. So really understanding, what is your workflow, I feel like. Cleaning up your environment. If your environment is, messy or disorganized, you're going to have more of a disorganized mind and body, which is going to, of course, cause more issues for your work. You're going to have more struggles in that area. And so it will also help by cleaning up your environment and make sure it's the best for you. It's going to help you create a more positive flow. And that's really a major thing. You need to bring in more positive energy. Even, if you like sage or maybe Palo Santo, some sort of maybe incense that you can maybe go through your space and cleanse like once a month or once a week, however is appropriate for you. That might be of importance, but it's also important with the Jade Emperor to remember that to not be too structured. Don't be too rigid with your process. There has to be a balance. Balance is key. Balance to everything that you're doing. And so when we get into integrity, obviously, that's the important keyword here, as well as honesty, honor, your character, your values, your morality, having sincerity, consistency. So definitely that for some of you guys, it's this struggle for the consistency of your organization or your work or your schedule. And, we're talking about principles with integrity. We're talking about fairness. You really need to walk your talk. So if you're talking about something, you're saying you're about this, and you need to make sure you are doing that. And that's part of, the key to organization. I think this is all about really taking a wider scope of what it is you're doing currently, what it is you're feeling, what it is you're believing, and really making sure that everything is lining up in the right way. So, do whatever it is you're doing from a place of love and understanding what it is that you enjoy. Avoid gossip and honor your personal trait, like your personal truths, your traits, your purpose at this time. So I think that's definitely the big message here, is that you guys should definitely, if there's anywhere that you feel like you've been having an imbalance or a struggle, you need to kind of just sit down, write down everything that you're doing in a day, what is your current schedule, and kind of revamp everything and just make sure that you have the most efficient process for yourself. Ooh, I just realized I was wondering why it was so dark. I didn't have my light on for these last two readings. Oh my god. Okay, now you guys can see the cards hopefully better. We got excited and barked. But see, this message also applies to me. I forgot to turn on the light again. Better organization. But moving forward in your reading. Oh my god. Alright, so let's talk about the energy that you may have been having lately, or that you're now coming into, that is sort of related to this situation. And so we have the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. So actually this is another guardian that you may call on, that may be working with you currently, is Uriel. So this card is all about, spirit connections, intuition, and inspiration. So this is all about opening and, feeling and fully engaging with, a a spirit kind of channel of information or inspiration, really connecting and using your crown chakra. The crown chakra is super important for you guys right now. And it's kind of related to, I feel even the Jade Emperor with this idea of, organization, and focusing on your schedule a little bit, clearing up your mind in that sense as well. And so, quiet your mind and really listen to what it is that you are getting in contact with, on a spiritual level, and listening to what those messages may be. This could also be talking about gaining access and connection to the Akashic records. So, connecting with that kind of universal energy and wisdom. And, a reminder that you have a lot of assistance coming to you and around you, both in the spiritual plane as well as the physical plane. And so to be aware of, the assistance that might be coming to you and being very gracious and of what it may be. Also with the integrity card, I forgot to mention, was, really standing up against any sort of injustice or dishonesty, anything that is sort of the antithesis of integrity, and a lot of the keywords we talked about this card, kind of standing up against those sort of things. I think having a very clear conscience about what it is that you really believe in, your morality in that sense. So some other additional guardians that might also be around you and might be helping, guiding you at this time. We also have the direction guardian, choose your path, and we have Lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards. So the direction guardian is really about connecting to your deepest desires, and through connecting to those deepest desires, you are going to choose your path. You may be feeling a little bit at a crossroads at the moment, or you have been in the past. That could be related to maybe getting, a clear focus in your current environment and cleaning up space. And this is just a reminder that you really have to choose your path from your heart. That's related again to your integrity, what it is you feel in that heart space of yours, and just keep on the path that is most aligned to those areas of your life and what it is you really believe in. And with the Lady card, this is very much similar to the energy and the messages of the Empress card in the tarot. So we're talking about reaping what you sow, putting in a lot of hard work and then gaining the rewards after putting in the work. So a lot of growth, a lot of expanding, financial security, abundance, fertility, connecting with nature, connecting back to that space. Maybe when it comes to reorganizing your own personal space, maybe bringing in more touches of nature into there. So maybe more house plants, or maybe, making sure that you have maybe a window in a space where you work that is facing out towards hopefully some form of nature. Of course, if you live in a city, then that's a little more difficult, but just, bringing in plants, bringing in that nature. Also, with Archangel Uriel here, this card brought up crystals. So maybe working with crystals, making sure that you're using crystals that really align with your third eye. In fact, I think you guys had the green crystals here. So one of the crystals that I personally like for my third eye, in sort of like that area of my head, the head, third eye, crown chakra area, is this little guy. It is, let's hopefully I say this right, Prenhite with Epodite, flex in it. So this is really good, especially for connecting to sort of higher guides, extraterrestrial things. It's a good meditation stone, I personally find. So definitely think about using crystals in your meditation to help clear and, balance out your crown and your third eye chakras, as well as just putting more crystals in your workspace. There's plenty of crystals out there that are good for like electromagnetic smog from computers and devices like that, as well as just stones to help boost your productivity in your work. And I definitely feel like for you guys, that is definitely a big portion of that. A little bit of a reminder that, hey, you are on the right path as long as you're falling from a place of your heart, which I don't feel is too bad of an issue for you guys. It's more like you definitely have guardians that are keeping you on your right path. I think for you guys, the really big message here is just to make sure that you're balancing out your work, your play, your space, your mind, your body, just making sure that you're getting everything in a proper balance again. and having it align with your, you know, your morals and your integrity in a, you know, a positive way. And through that process, you're definitely going to have a lot of abundance and new, you know, the idea of new growth, fertility, you know, financial security. You know, this could also maybe represent, you know, the idea of like pregnancy, marriage, proposals in that sense, maybe meeting somebody who kind of has a lot of that Empress energy about them. So yes, that's what I'm seeing from the cards. Let's go ahead and take a peek at your charms now. See if I can get that to focus. So, we have a lot of zodiac little things here and some additional messages. So let's see, what are the additional messages that came through? And we got an admirer concealing their affections for, an admirer is concealing affections for you. So maybe keep in mind, you know, people, maybe, you know, hints of things that you're getting through your crown chakra about what maybe somebody's hiding from you, but it's something positive. A pleasant surprise is in store for you. So yeah, you know, there's some sort of little surprise I think I'm feeling here on that, in that sense. We also have innocence and time once lost can never be regained. You know, that's definitely tied to that message coming up again, is tied to the integrity card. You know, don't beat yourself up over things that maybe you did in the past that maybe not so much align with where you are now and your integrity, like where that integrity space is that you've now come into. You know, don't beat yourself up for not believing those things maybe in the past, because you kind of had to be in that space in order to get to where your beliefs are now. So we also have, you know, this little kind of like root chakra related marble coming up again, as well as sort of this white one. So very clear crown chakra. I think you guys do have a very, you know, strong crown chakra already. We also have this with the 3 ravens. So this makes me think of like memory cycles, you know, secrets, kind of that sort of thing. You know, messages from, you know, divine masculines, divine feminine, you know, goddess and god energy in that sense. As far as zodiac signs go, we have, oh boy, we have a whole mess of these. Look at that. So we have Gemini, which is saying intelligent. So definitely you guys have a very good mind. We have Sagittarius, which is meaning optimistic. We have, what's this, Aries for courageous. We have Scorpio for passionate. We have Pisces for intuitive. And then we have Virgo for practical. So yeah, that's definitely, I feel like all of those keywords definitely apply to you guys who picked this group. You know, the practical relating definitely to that Jade Emperor. You know, the intuitive going to the crown chakra. Passionate, you know, is definitely related to, you know, the integrity card, as well as I think the lady card. Courageous, again, I feel like it's definitely in that realm. Optimistics, you know, that new, you know, change in focus, higher perspectives looking at things. You know, let's see what else we got here. We got a little cell phone here, so maybe some sort of communication that's coming through to you. What does that say? To talk. Yeah. So maybe you're going to be getting a message of some sort soon about something, you know, growth. Maybe it has to do with friendship, possible friendship, you know, gaining some new knowledge maybe through this communication. Have a little bit of inspiration coming through, some definitely swift, you know, swift change happening for you. We also have the golden heart. So again, maybe a little hint of maybe some love relationship, but just some like really opening up your heart to some stronger connections that are happening. You know, maybe changing your outward appearance to match more of your inner appearance, like your inner self and the outer self coming more into alignment. Yeah, definitely a lot of that idea of communication. Again, that's related back to that crown chakra. You're definitely going to be having a lot of communication coming from your higher self and from your spirits, as well as that, you know, knowledge from the Akashic records. So definitely be listening to any sort of channels you're feeling through your mind, that headspace of yours. So yes, that is what I'm seeing for this reading. If this resonated for you and you found it helpful, definitely do leave a like on this video, comment if you feel so inclined, and subscribe if you want to see more. Definitely feel free to comment any suggestions for any future pick a card readings. Also, feel free to remind me to always turn on and check that my light is on for these. I can't believe I forgot to turn on my light. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.